What is a supplementary budget? A supplementary budget is a request by ministries, state departments and agencies for additional funding in the course of a financial year. It is drawn to take care of expenditure that was not foreseen during the budget-making process by the National Assembly in collaboration with the National Treasury. It is also the tool used by the Treasury to align what has been spent prior to the National Assembly's approval, hence giving the expenditures legal backing. At the moment, the government has asked Parliament to approve a budget increase of 80 billion shillings funding, it says, for development projects largely under the Big Four plan. In the proposal, Acting Treasury CS Ukuri Atani has instigated budget realignments resulting in the reduction of recurrent expenses for various MDAs by 5.6 billion shillings. A supplementary estimate is backed by Article 223 of the Constitution, which stipulates that the national government may spend money that has not been appropriated. The National Treasury has indicated that it has already spent 1.86 billion shillings, an expenditure that must be approved within 2 months after the first withdrawal. Budget appropriation is the process of authorizing the release of funds from the National Treasury in line with the defined law, that is, the Public Finance Management Act in our case. The conditions set for supplementary approvals are if the amount appropriated was insufficient or a need has arisen for expenditure that was not budgeted for. The law, however, does not allow the government to introduce new programs in the supplementary budget. The government must indicate the sources of cash to fund the adjusted budget. It also applies to money withdrawn from the contingencies fund, for instance, in the case of emergencies where a parliament approval process may delay interventions. The guiding principle in the PFM Act 2012 is that budgetary allocations made on programs and sub-programs should not exceed 10% of the sum appropriated by Parliament for that financial year. This is in Sections 43 and 44 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and Part 40 of the PFM Regulations 2015. A University of Nairobi study pointed out budget errors, lack of strict laws governing procurement, poor planning, flexibility in parastatal operations, and non-adherence to the budget as triggers for supplementary budgets. An ideal budget situation is where proper planning is undertaken for an entity to achieve their objectives without working under constrained resources.